Hey, this is Adam again. In the series, kind of looking at the behind the scenes making of my comic series, Island of the Lost. We've gone through a bunch of stuff so far, so today I kind of want to just, talk briefly about something that I've kind of been thinking about as I'm writing the first couple issues here, which is tone. And it's something that I think is important, but it's maybe something you don't really think about. You just start writing, and I'm finding myself um, trying to think about it a little bit more and be a little bit more intentional on what the tone of this series is going to be and what I want it to be, basically. So when I say tone, I guess what I'm talking about is basically the overall like kind of feeling of it throughout. So like, does it have a comedic tone to it? Is it dark? Is it very serious? Is it very dramatic? Does it have multiple tones? Does it have maybe it's very dark, but then also has spikes of comedy throughout to kind of balance that out, right? What is it? Yeah, you don't have to just have one tone, but you probably will have like a main tone and then maybe aspects of other tones in there. Which I find that one a lot where it's like very dark, but then there'll be like comedic characters or something like that, which helps kind of break up the kind of the dark tone that it might have. Um, and for this story, it's tough because it's a dark story and there's a lot of dark things. There's a lot of talking about a lot of killing and death and people who do not so great things. So it's hard because it's already pretty dark and serious. So I want to be careful. I don't want to push it too far. For me, I want it to ride a line between serious and disturbing, right? For myself, I don't need it to push to the disturbing level that some shows do. And I, it's okay that some shows or comics or books or whatever do this. And I enjoy those, a good handful of those. But some I feel like take it too far and kind of ruins the my enjoyment of it, and then kind of ruins the themes that maybe are being represented into it. Once they cross that line, I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if I'm getting that theme anymore, because now it's just kind of grotesque or just being violent to be violent, right? So for me, I want to make sure that this is already a serious story and topic and serious themes. I want it to be serious. I want the tone to be serious, and dramatic, but I don't want it to be disturbing. And it's going to be tough because, again, like, we're talking about people playing a game where they're killing each other. So that's very dark already. So I want to be conscious of to make it not get too dark. And I personally don't want to deal with that in the comedic route. I'm just not really a good comedic writer, or you know comedy stuff doesn't interest me as much, although I do appreciate it in darker things. But it's not a strength of mine, so I don't think I'm gonna try to go that route, just because I know what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, and comedy is not something I've ever really tackled before. So I don't think I'm going to go that route. But there have been a couple things or a couple scenes when writing, where I was like, okay, well, I can go really dark with this, but maybe I'll take it one notch back just to keep the tone that I'm trying to go with. And one example, right now, this is where I'm sitting with this, and who knows, this might change, or I might go back to what I was doing originally. I don't know, but right now, the original idea for the game would be that all these people are on this island and they're playing this game together, and the two ways to win are, one, to be the last person standing, or to kill your target. So everybody has a watch that has a number that corresponds with the target, their target. And originally, this was my idea, would be to, if you kill your target, you win the game. Now, I'm not completely taking that idea away, but what I'm doing is maybe rephrasing, when the players are hearing this rule, phrasing it in a different way. Honestly, I'm going to take that away. I'm not going to say that that's a rule anymore. I'm just going to stick to, again, this is just where I'm at right now. I'm going to stick to the idea of, to win this game, you have to be the last one to survive. So, which means that you don't have to kill your target or kill anybody. You can just win this game. You can just survive. You can go live on your own and hopefully don't see anybody and live off the land and just be the survivor, and then win the game. So that's kind of the approach. Now, in my head, not all of these players are going to take this route. Some of these players are going to say, well, to be the survivor, I'm going to go kill people. And again, it's dark. It still has that dark aspect. It's a subtle change, but to me, just like not forcing the characters to kind of like kill their target, lightens it up a little bit so that I'm giving the characters a choice. If they don't want to do that, if they don't feel like they need to do that, then they don't. And which, corresponds with a lot of their character development, character arcs, right? Deciding, do I want to do that and take that next step for a selfish reason, basically to help myself, or do I not want to? And that plays a big part in my theme, right? And will I do negative things to others to further myself, right? That's a big thing that is going to come up in these character arcs. So that's just one example of just like, taking my initial idea and maybe bringing it back just slightly. Now, we're still going to have aspects of that. Like, I'm still going to have characters like look at that and say, oh, this is my target, I'm going to try to kill them. Or I am going to kill them. But just leaving it a little bit more open-ended and saying, well, you don't have to. It's your choice, right? So, again, subtle, but it's just one example of kind of something that I've been changing and thinking about while I'm writing, just deciding, how far do I want to take it? How disturbing do I want to make it? How violent do I want to make it? And then I also think in the artwork that's going to come into play a big part of it too. Do I want it to be gory and bloody? Well, not really. I think the act of the things that are happening will be disturbing enough. I don't need it to be really, really gory and bloody. That's just my taste. I know a lot of people that like to go that route and have things really gory and bloody for multiple reasons, but my taste is maybe not quite going that far, still making things feel jarring and violent, but maybe not with that visual representation of blood and gore and things like that. So anyway, that's kind of my thought on tone, and again, it's something I'm gonna have to keep going back to throughout this series because it's a tough one. It's one that I need it to be serious. I need it to be dark because we're talking about darker things and darker characters and characters that are doing dark things. But I want to be careful not to push it too far, just because I want to draw a line for myself, and that's what that's kind of the taste that I have. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on tone. Let me know what you think and how you approach that, and see you on the next one.